Welcome to your business coaching webinar, and we would like to thank you from around the world. We are just waiting for a couple of people to log on and to connect with us, and we won't keep you long, but just if you could just give us a few more minutes until those last few people that we know from around the world are trying to log on to this particular session.
Business coaching. Why would anybody need business coaching? Naturally, you want to take your business to the maximum level. Wouldn't you like to get better results? Well, how can we help you take your profits and help them soar right through the sky? Well, we have our principle called the ideal principle. I imagine. Imagine that we actually take your leadership and management to the best level that they can be, teaching them the difference between leadership and management. Then we have the D for deliverables. Just take your deliverables through your sales and marketing. We want to take your sales, maximize them, and then through the best marketing strategy in the world, give you the best results. E for environment. What we do is take your finance, your accounting, and your compliance in the right environment and to make sure that you actually fit in with legislature. That is a must. Then we have A, attitude. Yes, take your human capital as a resource and providing the right attitude to people, getting them to their maximum level. And then lastly, L, leverage. Leverage your operational excellence to its maximum capacity. All you have to do is to enroll for this webinar. It's going to be a free webinar of 40 minutes. Don't miss out. Just enroll because we can only take the first 1,000 people. And this is going to be from across the world. This is going to be America, England, Australia, and South Africa. The first 1,000 people only. Don't miss out. I'm Dr. Anthony.
Okay, it would appear that all the people have logged on, and we, Doc Ant and his organization, we would just like to say welcome to China, Hungary, South Africa, United Kingdom, Australia, Nigeria, Kenya, California is now logged on, Mexico, and please forgive me if I have not greeted you from your country, but we welcome you to this webinar. And we would like to just start off by just introducing who Doc Ant really is and why he has the ETR, which means to earn the right to chat to you this evening, specifically on this business culture webinar that we are going through now, and how important it is for all organizations to take the time to be developed and to grow within their business culture. Dr. Anthony Fantonda adds value as a turnaround specialist. His speciality is to assist companies to turn around their business culture. His experience as a divisional operations manager in one of the largest retail organizations in South Africa, having managed more than 2,400 employees across 150 branches, has taught him how to make people effective partners in the growth of a business. With his tested approach of shaping people for significance, Doc Anth assists you to get results through your people. He is a highly effective and facilitating specifically in the area of corporate conflict. He is passionate about assisting CEOs and management to create a healthy family life work balance. Turning around a new business culture is a process. Key principles for turning around a business culture, according to Doc Ant, are different areas in the organization do take longer and to transform than others do. Even if it seems at face value that areas in a certain organization have turned around, they are still in the process of becoming fully matured and functional for the new transformed business culture. If you happen to stop a turnaround process within your organization prematurely, the business organism will be deformed and will most probably, if not more than likely, die because it is not now in its original state, nor is it in the new turnaround state, and cannot function as it was intended. The turnaround business process is called maximized business empowerment. The turnaround end state is called the high performance business culture. The definition of a high performance business culture is enabling your organization to have sustained, consistent business results over a long period of time. Empowered ownership and business partnerships at all levels of the organization. planning for the vision to trickle from the highest part of the organization down to the lowest level, active pre-planning and in-shift, ratios between overtime and in-shift at acceptable levels, minimize the gap between actual and planning. And Doc Ant is highly experienced in this, having turned just one of his organizations over the last 3 years from a brand new organization to a turnover of a 10 million rand South African rand organization in a 3-year period. So Doc Ant has definitely ETR'd the right to have a chat to you. So I'd just like to hand over now to Doc Ant, welcome him, and say thank you for joining this webinar. Doc Ant, I now hand over to you.
Hi there, this is your coach, Dr. Anthony van Tonder, known as the Turnaround Specialist. I'm looking forward to taking you on a series of how to improve your business. What are we busy with? We're busy with business coaching. Business coaching is what really going to take you to the next level. And what is the ETR fact? Well, I earned the right to speak to you for one reason. We were able to build a company from 0 to 10 million in 3 years. Yes, just in 3 years. And this webinar is all about teaching you step by step how to basically take your business to the same level. So what we'll be covering in the next 5 months is the following. Tonight, obviously a 30-minute introduction webinar where we would like to actually take you to a place of understanding how to do this. How will we do it? Through introducing you to what we call the ideal principle. I stands for imagine. Just imagine where you have been given all the tools, that you've got the correct level of sales, correct level of marketing, and you know how to go to the next level. Great imagination, taking you to great results. Then we'll move to the D for deliverable. You need to be in a position to deliver the best results by making sure that you have definitely the best leadership and management teams to take you to that level. It doesn't have to have a great idea if you don't have the right team that can deliver that result. And that leadership would be vital for you to get to that next level. Then you'll go to E for environment. An environment that will take you literally into what is the compliance factor, what accounting principles do you have, and what is your bookkeeping standards. That's what you want to know. Then into A for attitude. Attitude has everything to do with the human capital resources at your disposal. Wrong attitude of people will certainly not get you the desired results. So we have to help you in terms of adjusting to the right attitude. And then lastly, the L for leverage. Just imagine being in a position to leverage all the operational factors to make your operations excellent. Yes, we would like to take you on the journey of the next 5 months, once per month, merely for 1 hour, and to share with you what we have done step by step to basically take our business from 0 to 10 million in just 3 years. Are you ready for this journey? Well, this is an overview that will help you just understand what we will cover. Let's look at the Hexagon principle. The Hexagon principle will really look at the following dimensions. We will look at leadership and management, and in that particular factor, taking you just now as to what leadership and management will entail. The first question that you need to ask yourself is, what is the difference between leadership and management? Then sales and marketing. Without sales, a company cannot survive, and without marketing, you cannot go ahead. Then to the third factor, in the Edcon principle would be finance, accounting, and compliance. Number 4, human capital resources. And number 5, operational excellence. There you have it. These will be the key pillars that we will be addressing over the next 5 months to take your business to exactly where you can take it and to maximize your potential. So in starting off, let's look more closely in terms of what will we do ideally to have the right leadership and management mix. Firstly, understanding that we have to discuss the difference between leadership and management. Many times I say leadership is people business and management is paper business. An easy way to differentiate between those two. Then we go to time management. There's this myth that we basically can manage our time better. That's one of the biggest myths that we basically have today. The only time that you can manage is your self-time. You need to learn how to manage yourself better within the time given. 24 hours is 24 hours. You can never make it 25 hours, doesn't matter who you are. Therefore, we'll teach you what are the basic principles to fall back onto to get into the best time management principles of managing yourself effectively. Then the levels of leadership. There are many levels of leadership. I'll just give you a little peep into the window. The first level is really what we call positional leadership. The fact that you have been appointed as the operations manager in a company doesn't necessarily mean that you've got the makings to become the CEO of a company. In fact, we often find that a person with the characteristics of being the operations manager battles to be the CEO because you are so much of a do person, you sometimes forget that you're a human being, you think you're a human doing. Sorry, I say that tongue in cheek, I'm speaking to myself. But leadership can be learnt. Only 10 to 15% of leadership is natural. The rest of it is an absolute skill that is teachable. So if you are teachable, you can learn. After levels of leadership, we talk about leadership types and styles. You want to ensure that you understand what leadership type do you bring to the table. And yes, every individual has got a specific style of how they basically manage their business. Your style will determine what your leadership decisions will be based upon. Your style will determine how people will look at you. And your style will determine how you respond to good results and bad results. And that may help you, or it may even count against you. Leadership management to its full level then come into fruition through accountability. What does it help to be a great leader, but you don't take accountability? We will teach you step by step how to measure yourself in terms of accountability and to put best practices in place, and that will actually act as a turnkey solution. I can't wait to help you look deeper into what leadership management can do for you to maximize your own potential. There we have it, the first Edcon principle, leadership and management. Ready for the next one? Well, here we go. Sales and marketing. When we talk about sales and marketing, there's always the aspect that people, when they want to basically improve their business, think of how to cut the cost. That is the worst way and the last way that you want to improve your company. Because you can basically cut yourself and your resources so thin that you cannot exist. The key is always sales, and more sales. Yes, it takes skilled intervention to improve your sales. Sometimes there will be a short-term focus, sometimes medium-term, and sometimes long-term. And how will we all band that together? Through a hand-fashioned, sweetly curtailed marketing plan. That plan must be suitable to who you are and what you want to achieve. So the first thing you'll be looking at is we'll help you with 5 practical ways to improve your sales. 5 practical ways, step by step, in terms of what we did to grow from 0 to 10 million in just short 3 years. One of the aspects of business is always prospecting. Now you might say to yourself, but hold on, I'm in an engineering business, I don't have to prospect. Of course you do. Whatever you do will entail getting more people to basically look at your product and to consider your product. Every single industry that you're in either is a product or a service. And for both of those, you require excellent prospecting to take you to the next level. You have to learn how to close the sale. I've seen so many salesmen that think because they can communicate a lot or even speak a lot that they know how to close the sale. In fact, that is often the very danger that prevents them from going to the next level. So we'll teach you how to close the sale properly. What about the essentials of marketing? We'll spend quite a lot of time in terms of helping you develop your own unique brand. You know, every person has got what we call an anthem or a thumbprint, something that makes you unique. In fact, when we look at your business, what is your USP, your unique selling proposition? Something that we will embark on and certainly will challenge you going to the next level. And that then falls into the most important part. As you want to take sales to the next level, that is your branding aspect. We know of excellent products in the market. We know that their logo statements will last for years. Well, the question is, how can we help you establish a brand that will last for years? That's what we call leaving a legacy. And that's true. If your sales and marketing plan is absolutely up to date, you will leave a legacy. Then we've had the second pillar of the hexagon principle. Then what about the third pillar? What are we going to do? Now we're looking at finance, accounting, and compliance. Every company needs great due diligence when it comes to how they handle their finance, the way they account for what they basically have done, and are they following due diligence in terms of compliance. Many companies think that they are complying by having an accountant appointed that once a year tells them where the business basically is going. But they forget they're only using it in terms as a yardstick or a measure in terms of how much they've done and their true profits. But compliance means that you will comply with a lot more. Let's look a little bit deeper in terms of what we want to cover. Firstly, basic accounting and bookkeeping. There is a difference between the two. Bookkeeping says what it says. Are your books kept well? And the accounting side of it, are your calculations in place? Now, there are various calculation methodologies that we will take you through that will maximize your potential. For instance, one question I can ask you: do you know how to calculate the break-even of your business? That's the first thing that you need to know. You need to know before every given month, how long must you open your doors, how many hours must you operate until you reach your break-even. Only sound accounting and great bookkeeping will actually get you there. The good old cash flow management. Cash flow is king. Without cash flow, no business can survive. It doesn't matter how great your sales are, but if you don't master this one entity, cash flow, you will actually work yourself out of business. So many businesses have found themselves acquiring property, acquiring assets, yet lack in the area of cash flow management. This is the little fox that can destroy your vineyard. It will teach you how to make that your number one focus, and the rest will follow. Debtors. Everyone has debtors and everybody will have creditors. But we have to teach you the difference between creditors and debtors and how to grade debtors. Now, debtors can be a good thing and can be a bad thing. Debtors are 30 days, 60 days, 120 days. I don't know. It all depends on your kind of business. We just heard that cash flow is king. But debtors could be a very significant way to take your business to the next level. And we'll show you how to master that to the next level. Financial management per se, that will bring in all the calculations that you require to read your general ledger. You want to make sure that once you get to your profit and loss, that you have a sensible profit, PBT, profit before tax. In fact, that will be profits before earnings and tax. And we want to make sure that you understand the difference. And what will you do post-tax, how to manage that. Pricing and costing. So many people don't know how to price their product and don't know how to cost it. What is the difference? We need to find out how we can leverage that factor and also sometimes use one of those two to increase your sales. But as we know, the moment you outprice yourself, people won't buy your product. There's a perceived value for every item. Just look around you. On your desk, look, maybe there's a mug. Let's look at the mug, assuming that the contents is empty. Are you prepared to pay 100 Rand for the mug? You might go, no, that is just overpriced. 80 Rand? Still no. 40 Rand? Now a maybe. Okay. So now we get into the established pricing of the credibility of the commodity. And maybe you'll find that the real price for that mug, 35 Rand, it cost, you felt was a great price. So that's how you will determine the factor of what you're busy with, how to price yourself, and to make sure that you don't outprice yourself in the market. But this page per se gives you an overview of the due diligence that you require to go to the next level. The next pillar, human capital resource. Oh dear, without the right people, you and I are going nowhere. Please note, human capital. There's a human factor, and that is that you and I have no control in terms of how people will either act or respond. You've heard about A-type and B-type personalities, but I can tell you now, if you don't have the ability to maximize those people through who they are, your human capital is not a resource to you. In fact, it could be a handbrake. First thing you need to know is how to manage your payroll. Now, you can have your payroll manually done, you can outsource it, and or you can ask someone else to come in and do it on your behalf. There are many ways to do it. We'll look at advantages, disadvantages, and yes, one of the practical steps will be possible companies that could assist you in terms of you running your payroll professionally. Policies and procedures. Companies want to run when the word policies and procedures just pop up because it's the last thing they feel like doing. However, What would you do if you get to a red traffic light? I'm sure that, like me, you'll choose to stop. Because we know that you might get away the first time, you might get away the second time, but you will not last forever. One day, surely, without the policies and procedures in place, death is imminent. Death of the company. And that is a choice that you have to exercise. Disciplinary codes and practices. Wow. So many companies think that as they start expanding, these aren't necessary. But it's the very mistake that you make because people want structure. Think of your family. A child needs discipline. That is the number one way that a parent will show their child or the children that they love them, by having boundaries in place and discipline for where they want to correct them. Now, do not just think about punishment, because punishment is negative. Discipline is positive. If we can get that code of practice into our workplace, we will certainly have a workforce at the next level. There will be a lot done on the actual workshops on a monthly basis to take that to the next level. Profiling and assessment. One of the key factors that will take you to your maximized capacity. This is the turnkey solution, I believe, in every single company. The company is only as good as its people. And there is just no success in where a leader thinks that he is basically engaging with the people. Because John Maxwell says, many people communicate, but few connect. The kind of leader that does not know how to use the profiling and the assessments of his people will never maximize the full potential of their people, number one, and secondly, of the company. And as we know, if the company is not flourishing, the bottom line is not where it should be, no one is happy. We'll teach you through a spate of 7 to 9 assessments how to basically maximize the potential of your people. And then lastly, and the most important part about human capital as a resource is sustainability. We have found that succession planning is a huge problem. And we need to help you in a practical, step-by-step, how to go about to go and get a sustainability plan that will grow from 3 months to 6 months to 18 months, and so that your staff turnover is minimized. You cannot prevent your turnover. It will happen. Because if you're a great leader, your people will find better opportunities. However, there are other ways to help your staff consider staying with you for a lifetime. That's something that we'll talk about at the next level. Then we go to the last peg, operational excellence. Wouldn't you like to be hailed and known as the company where your way of operating is with absolute excellence? You know, you have to choose what you want to stand for. You have to choose how you want to operate. I choose to do it with excellence. How do you want to do it? That is your choice. The first part we want to look at is your IT, your information technology. Now, this has been around for more than 15 years and has been the key turning factor to take companies to the next level. In fact, by 1993, the top 15 jobs that we have today did not even exist. And most of those are in IT. So if you don't know how to move with the times, how to embrace information technology, you will be left behind. And in fact, it's running at a horrendous pace. But you now have to learn how to leverage that factor to take your company to the next level. In fact, someone might have to ask the question, 10 years from now, what technology will be in use? And then maybe 30 years from now, should we still exist, how would we run our company? It all starts with this little word called planning. I find that planning is such a basic commodity, yet you cannot run operational excellence in your company if you can't plan your own life. There are daily basic disciplines that leaders fail with. In fact, they fail to manage themselves. You know, if you don't measure how you do your work every day, if you don't plan by starting to plan, you're planning to fail. So, failing to plan or planning to fail, up to you. Controlling. Controlling is the aspect of operational excellence where you have checks and balances in place, where you will control your business at the point where you will know what is right, what is wrong, and where you possibly might have to import maybe a consultant, expert advice to make sure that you are not over controlling and also that you're not under controlling. Project management. Project management is seen as this huge gap that you need to have a project manager in place before you can actually embark on a major project. Not true. Project management is the daily management of yourself within a given process and system with specific milestones so that you can complete your project chronologically on time. Every single employee, doesn't matter at which level they are, even the cleaner needs project management. You cannot go into cleaning the bathroom until you've got the utensils and the tools. The cleaning detergent, your mop, and then your water. How will you rotate the program? Where will you start and where you go back to? So it's a process that's in place in terms of your project management. Ultimately, if your operational excellence is in place, there's only one result: business turnaround. That is my wish for you. We were able to take a business from 0 to 10 million, and we want to teach you step by step how to turn your business around. But it's a decision. You have to choose whether you are teachable or not. You might be running a fairly good ship, but you want to be excellent? Well, allow us in to assist you at a very low cost to basically go to the next level. As you know, the information that we're sharing today is an overview of the Edcon principle based on the ideal principle that we have registered. We would like to make sure that you run your business absolutely at the ideal maximum. I know what the question now would be: how much is this going to cost? Well, all's fair in love and war, and that is that some of you have established large businesses, some of you are startup businesses, and I would believe it would be unfair to have a large business pay the same cost as a small business. Hence, the measurement is easy. On your company annual financial statements, we will know the size of your company. We will know how many staff members you have. We will know your annual turnover. And also we'll know the nature of your business. And I think out of a combination of those three, we'll have a pretty good idea in terms of what is affordable for you. Here's the beauty. We aim to be with you once a month for 5 months, after which we will decide whether we're going to go on to what we call the business-driven university. But we first have to go through this basic program so that after 5 months you can decide whether you would like to embark with us on the next 10-month intensive once-a-week program. And with that, we promise to overhaul your business and that we will get higher and better profitability. But it starts with these basics. So now, back to the cost. Level 1 for starter business, 0 to 5 staff members. We are going to ask you merely for 250 Rand per month. Yes, that's right. 5 months, 250 Rand per month. I know, incredibly low. But we want to empower every little business with these principles and share the same principles what we utilized to get ourselves to the level that we had. Or if you pay upfront, once off and you see the amount, 1,500 Rand. Small business, 6 to 20 staff members, merely 500 Rand per month, once off, 3,000. Medium business, up to 50 staff, 1,000 Rand a month, and there's a once off of 6,000. Now I must say, most businesses fall in this category. And to think, for a mere investment of 1,000 Rand a month, it is a trickle in the bucket. You can take your business and maximize it to the next level. You can turn it around, but it starts with a decision. The next level would be our medium plus business, 51 to 100 staff, 3,000 Rand per month. And then the larger business is 5,000 into 12.5. You know where you'll be fitting, and you'll be understanding that how we work with you, it's only fair because you're larger that you actually subsidize the smaller companies. I would have loved to help everybody at the lowest tariff, but then again, the worker is worth his wage. And because you're a larger company, you can afford it. And this is all part of your plowing back into society. Because I can tell you that the funding that we have here, operationally, also goes for a good cause. And that is that a percentage of whatever we make out of this program goes for a good cause of supporting those in need of leadership and training. We support a program called 100 Millionaires in Africa, supporting young entrepreneurs who would like to break free and become millionaires in the next 5 years. And those are asset-based millionaires. And so we take a portion of our funding to support that program. So now what remains? Merely a decision. And that is that you and I can decide, will you go on the program? The duration will be 5 months. once a month, and we will suggest on Tuesday evenings, and normally it will be the middle Tuesday of every month, and those dates will be communicated to you by means of email. Commit to yourself to go to the next level. It's only 5 months, once a month. And the frequency, once per month, is set over a 5-month cycle, and the duration, merely 1 hour. 1 hour that can bring the turnkey solution to take you to the next level. I want to tell you that a lot of this has to do with your mindset. Your mindset must be, I can be successful, I have to be successful, I want to be successful, and I will be successful. And we'll teach you in that hour how to deploy those principles. There's the cost, merely 250 Rand a session for you to start off, and I think that is an absolute steal to take your business to the maximum level. Because the prices that I quoted to you in the cost program are actually aimed at the long-term business university. But you can now sign up for just 250 Rand a session, because we want to empower as many people as possible. And yet we've got no control who's sitting with you, but that's up to you, because we run our company based on integrity and a value system, and we trust that your value system will be in place and that you will embark on this program and take yourself to the next level. So to register, all you have to do is to send us an email to dranthony@ictus.mobi. I'm going to spell that DRANTHONY, Dr. Anthony at ictus, spelled ICTUS.mobi, MOBI. So it's Dr. Anthony at ictus.mobi. Please will you engage with us, register, because we want to embark on this program with you once a month over the next 5 months and make sure that you get the results that help us become successful. This is me, Dr. Anthony, signing off. I'm your turnaround specialist.